it's two guys that are coming towards the back end of their careers, but two legends, pound for pound legends of the sport. A fascinating fight between two guys with tremendous ring IQ. I guess the big conversation is how the weight will affect Bud and how he will respond to the size.
Eddie Hearn has just shared his analysis of the fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. On the other hand, Errol Spence Jr. shared that if Crawford wants to measure himself against the highest level and pursue lasting glory, he fully supports that decision. He argued that there is no valid reason to discourage Crawford from taking such an opportunity if his ambition drives him toward it. Spence admitted that while he is unsure how it will turn out, he will stand behind Crawford. He reasoned that if anyone can overcome the challenge, it would be Crawford, and he further mentioned that Canelo once moved up to light heavyweight to face larger rivals, proving that such leaps can be made, so there is no reason Crawford cannot do the same.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, so what I'm saying, I'm with it. So, I'll be going for Bud, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
Yeah. But
he's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
Moreover, Sean Porter reflected on how the opening rounds could deliver real excitement because it falls right into both men's habits. He noted that this is precisely the sort of bout Canelo enjoys, where he remains calm even if his early attacks graze or miss, trusting that his patience will eventually pay off. Porter also observed that Crawford does not retreat so far that Canelo cannot close the gap, which, according to him, increases the intrigue of this contest.
Could be a very interesting fight because it's one that works in the rhythm of both guys, because this is what Canelo does and what he likes to do, and I'm okay if I'm only getting elbows, and I'm okay if I'm swinging and I'm missing, because I'm gonna catch up to you eventually. Bud is not gonna move so far out of the way that he can't do it. Also, I'm gonna say, I don't want to say more because I think I know a little bit more about you.
However, Eddie Hearn said this matchup is a great fight between two legends who are both nearing the later stages of their careers. He described it as fascinating because both have exceptional ring IQ. However, he highlighted the main question being how the weight will impact Terence Crawford and how he will handle Canelo Alvarez's size. Hearn recalled that Crawford did not appear very big at 154 pounds, and even thought his opponent looked stronger in that fight. Now, moving up to 168 to face a pound-for-pound great like Canelo is a big step. He noted that Canelo did not look impressive in his last outing, with his movement and legs not seeming at their best.
It's two guys that are coming towards the back end of their careers, but two legends, pound-for-pound legends of the sport. A fascinating fight between two guys with tremendous ring IQ. I guess the big conversation is how the weight will affect Bud and how he will respond to the size. We got a situation where in Los Angeles, Crawford didn't look that big against the 154. In fact, I thought Madrimov looked the bigger, the stronger guy in that fight. I thought it was a very, very close fight, that fight. Now you're going up two divisions at 168 for Canelo Alvarez, who is, a pound-for-pound legend of the sport. Against Skull, he didn't look great. The movement didn't look great. I didn't think his legs looked fantastic.
Hearn added that if Crawford chooses to fight smart and stay elusive, he could have real success. The key concern is how he will take punches at super middleweight. After spending time with both fighters, Hearn said their confidence is so strong that it is hard to imagine either of them losing. He praised Crawford's consistent performances and high boxing IQ, saying it might be the best in the sport today. Even though Canelo is his pick overall, Hearn admitted he slightly leans toward Crawford in this matchup, while acknowledging that Canelo will likely enter as the favorite.
And I think if Terence Crawford decides to box elusively in this fight, I think he's gonna really have success. When he gets hit, that's really the $1 million question. How can he hang at 168? When you spend time with both of them, they're both so confident, you actually can't see him losing. Bud talks a brilliant game and he's walked the walk continuously, and he has probably the best boxing IQ in the game. I probably, and you know, Canelo's my guy, but I probably lean slightly to Crawford in this fight, which, you know, me and you debated over a coffee downstairs. I know that I think you maybe go the other way, but I think that Canelo will be a favourite going in, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Crawford could do it.
Chris Algieri said this fight is far from the ideal matchup, even with all the excitement around it. He believes there are many better fights to make, especially ones involving Naoya Inoue. He pointed out that most fans focus on big names rather than real skill or proper weight classes. Algieri reminded everyone that Terence Crawford is 38, Canelo Alvarez is 35. Both looked poor in their last fights. There is still a 3-division gap between them, and Crawford has been inactive for over a year.
Can't wait for this fight. This is the best matchup that could be made. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's certainly not. Definitely not. Definitely not the best fight that can be made right now. I can think of a dozen fights that I would rather see, and a lot of them include Inoue against a bunch of different guys that I would rather see over this fight. But casual fans don't care that much about 122-pound guys who fight across the world in Japan. They care about big names and characters. But at the end of the day, when you look at this on paper, Crawford's 38, Canelo's 35. Neither looked very impressive in their last fight. They're still 3 weight classes apart. That has not changed, because, you know, and Crawford hasn't fought in a year plus. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of poo-pooing of this on paper.
David Morrell commented that this task is extremely tough for Terence Crawford because Canelo carries significant force in his punches. He suspected that Crawford may be tempted by the financial side of the deal, but cautioned that Canelo remains a very dangerous foe who is not easily beaten. Morrell went as far as saying that Crawford may not last beyond the 3rd round, and gave Canelo a 60-40 likelihood of emerging victorious.
I say Crawford, but you know, it's the crazy fight. You know, it's too much pound for Crawford. I mean, I know Hearn do it for the money, but it's too much. It's too much pound for Crawford, and Canelo is not easy. You know, Canelo is stronger. It's difficult. It's difficult for Crawford to win the fight or to stay there in the 12th round. So, you know, I say 60-40 for Canelo.
While we head towards pros' predictions about this fight, according to Shakur Stevenson's latest interview, he believes Crawford will prevail in this crucial battle. In fact, he thinks Canelo's style will benefit him. He underlined that Crawford has been doing incredibly well, and he intends to continue that against Canelo. He also said he had a strong sense of self-confidence. He concentrates on his own preparation and abilities rather than worrying too much about who he is fighting. Stevenson believes Crawford could win a battle like this because of his mentality.
I had said I think that Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez right after he fought Sean Porter. Mm-hmm. So the idea, I've been thinking about it. I've been saying it before Bud even was saying it.
Why were you saying it then? Like, that was what, a few years ago? Was he 160 or 168 at that point? But why did you believe then that was the right fight?
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. Mm-hmm. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got.
Shakur Stevenson later reinforced that it is the proper contest because he sees Terence Crawford as the finest in his division. He believed that Crawford's approach in the ring would align well against what Canelo brings. Even before Dimitri Bivol managed to hand Canelo a defeat, Stevenson was of the view that Crawford was the only one with the right tools and method to get the better of him.
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. Mm-hmm. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo with his style. Mm-hmm.
Max Kellerman spoke about how enormous this confrontation between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford truly is, placing it among the most memorable boxing spectacles he has come across in his career. After covering legendary nights like Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather and the famous clash between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko, he suggested that this event could even top those moments. He remarked that the sheer scale and perfect timing have the potential to make it the most remarkable one he has ever been part of.
But like, where would you rank this fight out of your top 3 to 5 of all the boxing fights you've called, you've experienced, you've watched? Just the
in terms of the magnitude.
Yeah,
of
the magnitude.
Fight?
Yeah.
I mean, of the fights that I've called ringside, it might turn out to be number 1. I've done Pacquiao fights, I've done Mayweather fights, I've done Anthony Joshua against Klitschko. Those are big fights, but
Kellerman added that with Netflix pushing this event, it might become the most watched championship contest in nearly half a century. He remembered Muhammad Ali's second meeting with Leon Spinks in 1978, which was broadcast to 90 million households, a figure that still stands unbeaten. While massive pay-per-view matches such as Mayweather versus Pacquiao created staggering sales, Kellerman said that streaming services can now reach an even wider audience. If the number of viewers at home approaches the levels from decades past, this fight could break records today. From a commercial perspective, he strongly believes it will be the grandest boxing occasion he has ever seen.
this will, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in '78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 4 million buys, Mayweather Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, per buy, watch, that's 20 million people. This is gonna do multiples of that. So, so when you look at it from like a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event I've ever covered.
This is what makes September 13th more than just a fight. It's a changing of the guard. It's a clash between what boxing was and what it's becoming. Crawford is 36, but he's fresh. He hasn't taken punishment. He's disciplined. Canelo at 34 looks older in the ring, slower. And if he underestimates Crawford's speed, accuracy, and timing, he's going to get exposed. Former undefeated champion and respected boxing analyst Andre Ward also shared his prediction for the Canelo versus Crawford fight, confidently siding with Terence Crawford. Ward, known for his disciplined mindset and deep boxing IQ, explained that what separates Crawford isn't just skill, it's his passion for the sport and the strength of his will.
I'm going with Terence Crawford, you know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years, I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Bozy Ennis shared that even though some people might not believe him, he is leaning toward Terence Crawford to win. He compared Crawford to Jaron Boots Ennis when it comes to handling bigger weight classes, saying both fighters can go up in weight and still dominate. He mentioned that he has seen Boots spar bigger guys and knock them out in the gym, and he believes Crawford can do the same at 168 pounds. Bozy said this weight could actually be perfect for Crawford, and he has full confidence that Terence can manage it. He pointed out that Crawford is a very smart boxer who doesn't waste punches and always knows what he's doing in the ring.
People ain't gonna believe me, but I'm leaning towards Terence.
Oh, okay.
Remember this though, Terence and Boots is almost like similar when it comes to that weight thing, right?
Yes.
Boots gets up big, but I seen Boots at a certain weight where he can handle them big guys and stopping them, be knocking them out, you know, in sparring in the gym. Wow. When he's up in weight. So I think that's a beautiful weight for Terence, but that's going up to 168 though, right?
Yeah, 168.
Yeah, but I think he can handle it, man.
He can do it.
And then one thing about Terence though, people don't understand, he can box and he's smart.
Yes.
He don't waste no punches, man.
So he won't waste that energy.
And he's really smart, man, when it comes to that boxing game.
Bozy explained how he would prepare Crawford if he were training him for a Canelo fight. He said the plan would be to frustrate Canelo by using sharp combinations and constant movement. Since Canelo needs to be set before he throws punches, Crawford's boxing and footwork could break that rhythm. Bozy said he would have Crawford hit with clean shots, then tie up Canelo before he could get into position. Walking him back to the center would slow the pace and waste time, which could throw Canelo off. According to Bozy, once Canelo gets frustrated, he starts making mistakes and becomes easier to hit with more clean shots.
But it was me, and I'm training him.
Yeah.
I would have him frustrating Canelo. What I would do with him, I would hit him with some good shots, combination shots, because you know, Canelo got to be set to throw punches.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? If Crawford boxing move, he don't like nobody to boxing move, and that's what I think Crawford was going to do. And then once, this is what I would tell him to do. We'll box him and hit him with good shots. You know what I mean? Set him up. Soon as he get ready to get set, tie him up, walk him to the center.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Kill that clock.
You keep on doing it over and over, and then once you start doing that, right? They lose their cool. Then they open up for all kinds of shots.
Nice. Frustrating, right, Coach?
Yep, frustration.
Greg Hackett said he isn't sure what Terence "Bud" Crawford will do in a fight against Canelo Alvarez, but he doesn't believe Crawford will be able to knock Canelo out. He mentioned that if Crawford thinks he can score a knockout, that's his choice. Hackett gave a slight advantage to Canelo in the fight, pointing out that moving up to 168 pounds might make Crawford more cautious. He explained that even though Crawford has speed and strength, Canelo's power at this weight could cause Crawford to be more careful and less aggressive with his punches.
I mean, I can't say what a man can't do. You know what I mean? But do I see that happening? Yeah. No, I don't see it happening. But if he believe it, hey, I mean, I want to see.
Who would you favor in that fight? You like Bud by decision?
Slight edge to Canelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Bud. I'm a fan of Bud. I think Bud is a great fighter, but I just think 68 is gonna make him a little bit hesitant. He gonna feel good. He gonna be strong. He gonna have some good speed, but I think he's just gonna be a little bit hesitant. He won't pull the trigger right away.
Amir Khan said that Canelo Alvarez has a size advantage, but he also pointed out that Terence Crawford adds weight very well. He mentioned that people have seen pictures of Crawford weighing around 185 pounds, where he looks strong, muscular, and fully built for the weight. Khan recalled sparring with Crawford and noted that he felt heavy, powerful, and stronger than most give him credit for. He said Crawford hits hard, carries real muscle strength, and even has a wrestling background that makes him physically tougher.
Canelo has a size advantage, but then again, I've always said Crawford puts on the weight well. If you look at size of him, you see his picture when he was like 185. Yeah. He looked huge, bro. He looked jacked up and he looked strong at the weight as well. I remember when I used to spar with him, and I think, wow, he's heavy and he's heavy-handed as well.
People don't give as well, yeah.
Yeah, you know, people don't give him the credit for his power. Crawford bangs hard, man. I mean, and also has that muscle strength.
Khan explained that he had witnessed Crawford wrestling heavyweights in the gym and taking them down with ease, showing surprising strength and grappling skills from his younger wrestling days. He added that Crawford is dangerous because in a fight he can knock you out standing or dominate if it ever came to grappling. Khan concluded that this is truly a 50-50 fight since Canelo seems to have all the physical advantages while Crawford has never been beaten, which makes it such a compelling matchup.
I saw him in the gym when I was training with them, wrestling heavyweights and taking them down, wrestling. So I don't know if you know this, but Crawford is, I think he was like one of the top national wrestlers.
He was a good, yeah, I think he wrestled when he was younger, and he was very, like, you always see him wrestling people at events.
Strong in it, strong in it. So either, look, he's one guy you don't want to fight, because if you ever stand off with him, he's gonna try knocking you out, and if he takes you down, you're fucked as well. So I mean, but look, I mean, it's a great fight that we're gonna see, because we've not really seen a fight where it's like it is a proper 50-50 fight. Why people are saying it's a 50-50 fight? Because Canelo has all the advantages, and Crawford has never been beaten. So that's why. And Crawford looks unbeatable. So it's gonna be.
Moreover, Ronnie Shields said he expects the fight to be a great one, with both Canelo and Crawford coming in well prepared and in top shape. He explained that he favors Terence Crawford because of his awkward style, which includes switching stances and strong counterpunching skills. Shields believes Crawford will cause problems for Canelo without needing to run around the ring, and that his ability to adjust and show new looks will make a big difference. He praised Crawford as the complete package, saying he has everything a fighter needs to succeed. If he were coaching him, Shields said he would tell Crawford to use his reach and target Canelo's body to help control the fight.
I think it's going to be a great fight, number one. I think both guys
are going to be in great shape, like always. And look, you know, I'm favoring Crawford because I just think Crawford is an awkward fighter, and I think he's going to give Canelo a problem just because he switches both ways, and he won't be running all around the ring like School did. You know, Crawford is a great counterpuncher also. Crawford is everything a fighter needs to be, and I think he's going to show Canelo different things that he haven't seen before.
Absolutely. And Coach, if you were training Crawford, what would be some of the keys to victory that you would tell him?
Use your reach and touch his body.
Jose Benavidez Sr. predicted that Terence Crawford may find it hard to cope with the sheer strength Canelo Alvarez brings. He likened the scenario to a cartoon chase where Crawford is the quicker yet smaller character. Though he admired Crawford's ability and considered him among the best, he believed the power and bulk of Canelo would probably tilt the scales once they engage in the ring.
He thinks that Crawford might not be able to handle Canelo's power. What do you think?
I just think, in my opinion, we're going to see a Tom and Jerry, brother. That's all.
Tom and Jerry?
Tom and Jerry. We're going to see a Tom and Jerry. Right there, you know, Crawford's a little guy, man. My respect. Crawford's a hell of a fighter.
Bob Arum pointed out that the large weight difference will be an important factor in the fight. While he praised Canelo's skill level, Arum believes Crawford's overall boxing ability is more refined. Despite Crawford having to give up a significant amount of weight, Arum said he would lean toward Crawford if he had to bet because of his exceptional talent. However, he acknowledged that the size gap could still affect the outcome.
Or is it just 50-50?
It's very, very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence, because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's given away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight, so that matters. But again, Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter, but he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence.
Keyshawn Davis foresaw that Canelo would aim to press forward and deliver heavy strikes. However, he was confident that Crawford's reflexes and technical skill would enable him to avoid a large portion of those hits, particularly as the fight wore on. Davis anticipated that Crawford would raise his activity in the later stages, making it more difficult for Canelo to land cleanly. He described the encounter as a game of pursuit, with Crawford using his speed and strategy to maintain control.
Middle rounds, of course, picking it up, and I feel like at the end, that's when they gonna really open up. But I see Canelo trying to walk Bud down, walk him into some shots, and I just feel like, you know, Canelo probably gonna be walking into a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Cat and mouse.
Yeah.
You know? Square circle.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the fight between Crawford and Canelo? We would love to hear your thoughts on this matchup. So share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.